Sometimes people are gonna judge. Some things are beautiful, some things are broken. Only difference is the one eye that's open. Perfect peace in the one's eyes in motion. Cause what you see now is the one time of hope, and one time of love, and one time of grace. Sometimes I'm with it and sometimes I ain't. Sometimes I'm strong, at other times I'm faint. With the beauty in it all, that there's no restraint. Word, cause you define that. Look hard enough, then you could find that. It's hard work, but you could grind that. Beautiful and broken, you combine that. You define that. Look hard enough, then you could find that. It's hard work, but you could grind that. Beautiful and broken, you combine that.
I'm beautiful and broken. Now I'm open. I am who I'm supposed to be. Finally, I know. You said I've changed because I have. I'm not the same. I'm beautiful, 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 beautiful.
I am.
I'm broken, broken into pieces. Finally, I'm who I'm supposed to be. Finally, I'm the one I wanna be. Yeah, beautiful, broken. I'm beautiful,
We live in a world where people of all ages and body types surround us. Some of them with the most beautiful smiles. Behind most of those smiles are stories you can't even imagine. You have support all around you, even from those people that you might not even know. My name is Brittany Mahan, and we all are beautiful broken.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. We are back. I'm your host, Brittany Mahan, along with my co-host, the one and only Doreen Silva. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm like fired up. I don't know. I feel great. Like, I'm excited about our guests. I'm excited about the season outside. You know, I always get
You're excited about the season?
I'm going to tell you why. I know that sounds weird. You know, winter, the trees die, right? And it looks a little blah, but the cities always put lights on them.
Yeah. No, I do love the lights.
Every
driving
time.
around, seeing the lights on everybody's houses, and I noticed everybody's putting them up a little early. I think try to give us a little Christmas spirit going on.
I have a tree up already in my house.
We
have.
do too.
You already put your tree up too?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I have lights like in my room all the time throughout the whole year. So
yes, I just actually added some lights to my room. I never did that before. You know how some people in college do it all the time, but I missed that.
I'm a 30-year-old, something-year-old woman, and I just love the lights in my room.
It's so pretty.
It gives a good vibe.
I put on Christmas music. I don't care. Okay, I know Thanksgiving is coming up this week, guys, so we don't have to skip being grateful because, you know, that's pretty much important. But the jolly season is always my favorite. And the reason I'm even talking about that right now is because the author of tonight, Teb, wrote a book called Live in Peace. Okay? And I love it. I love it so much. It's so cute. It's like pocket size, right? You can fit it right in your pocket. And he'll talk more about it when we come back from commercial break, but we're not. We're sticking around for right now. And the reason why I think Christmas and Live in Peace kind of go hand in hand with me is because, I don't know, every time around Christmas, people want to be jolly, I hope, you know?
Yeah. I mean, even I think Thanksgiving, too, because it's a time for you to think of grateful, what are you thankful for? And peace is definitely a...
Peace on earth.
Yeah. I always think of that, like, let there be peace on earth.
Is that a church song?
No, I don't know. I think of it like as a Christmas song.
Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I can't. The lyrics aren't coming to my brain right now.
I think it's a song that we sang in, like, Jones School in like elementary school.
I just, looking at the world today, I'm very concerned because there's just not that much peace on it at the moment, and I'd like there to be some
Every day
more.
when I meditate, it's peace is one of my big things.
Yeah.
I want inner peace. That's my...
Oh, you got to start with inner... The only reason people are attacking each other is because they don't got no inner peace. I mean, that's the real reason of what's happening here.
It's so true. And it's hard, especially in, like you said, the world's in a different place right now. And
right.
where everybody's kind of going at everybody and everybody's becoming so divided. And if people really focus more on
themselves,
you wouldn't be coming at people all the time.
I listen to myself, and when I'm upset with something, I go internally, I deal with it before I blame others. Most of y'all out there like to blame. You're blamers, you're finger pointers. It is what it is. But I just why can't you just fix you? Why can't you learn to change your perception from a negative point of view and blaming others into a positive one? It's definitely difficult, but if you're not even trying, then shame on you. You know what
I always say too that's like what you were just saying. You can't really fix you can't fix the world, and all you can really do is fix yourself. And then it's like a chemical reaction. It'll go on a chain reaction after you fix yourself. Because if you were trying to fix everybody in the
crazy.
world, exactly.
And the number one thing that we all know is that you can't control anyone besides yourself. So
exactly,
everyone freaking out about their mother or their father or their sister or their boyfriend or their girlfriend or whatever work, your boss, you can't control them. So why are you trying to stress and rip out your hair trying to fix somebody and control somebody when you really, the only person you can control is you? But a lot of people can't eat that. It's the hard truth.
Oh, of course. Because then, like you just said, you'd have to take the blame. They'd have to put the blame on themselves, and it's always easier to blame other people instead of yourself.
Because the victim mindset is what a lot of people live in. Poor me, I got given this life, and I can't do anything about it.
But you're not going to get any better from a place like that.
No, you're not. Okay, then be the victim. You sit there, and then everyone will just shit all over you, I guess. I don't know what you want. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I got what you mean, though. It's true. But back to what you're saying, that if you fix yourself and focus on yourself, I believe at least that more of those kind of things come to you, the positive experiences. And one of my intentions from my meditation I do in the morning is to just let negativity roll off my back. No negativity, it doesn't exist, and don't let the negativity of others affect me, because it's really easy to just let people's negativity get to you. And
for sure.
So for me, nope, not happening. It ain't happening. The second I even feel like it is, I'm like, nope, happy.
So I used to be like that, honestly, but I'm not going to lie to you. I was a fighter, okay? I liked the challenge. I liked arguing. I'm going to own it.
I can't do it.
I love the argument. I'm like, okay, let me see what this person has to say. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it, people.
It is challenging to not do that, especially I know you get a lot of gratification sometimes after you just get that out and feel good. I got that out.
You walk away, you're like, oh, gosh, got that one. It's like, what is happening? But I had my first experience where I was in a room. It was actually my own house, and it was a room of my roommates had some girls over, and they're the most negative group of girls that I've ever had. Just sitting I was grabbing water from the fridge, and their conversations were just bleh. And I usually would like to chime in and sprinkle my little fairy dust of positivity on everyone and hope that maybe it might stick. But sometimes I think people are acid and it might just melt. And I said, you know what? I'm not wasting it on you.
So you just walk away?
Yeah. I just went in my room, I shut the door, and it was honestly the first time.
It's hard to resist.
Yeah, it was the first time that I ever did that. I was like, wow, I'm actually proud of myself, because now I'm getting to choose consciously where I put my energy to. And I think that's the difference between people who feel really drained, or they feel like their cup is always flowing out. And, I guess that saying sometimes is that you have, you want to fill your own cup, but if you have a hole in the bottom of your cup, then it's never going to be filled. So now I'm being conscious, especially in these times where I'm making sure that I am filling my cup first and making sure that there's no holes in it.
And especially what you fill your cup with is important.
Right, because some people are just putting dirt in their cup, and then they're angry, and then they're eating dirt, and they're just like, meh, meh, meh. And I can't help you. If you want to watch the news nonstop, if you want to watch scary movies, if you like being afraid all the time, then I'm sorry, no, you're not going to live in peace, all right? You just ain't. It doesn't go hand in hand. But if you want to start watching Disney movies or Christmas movies or listening to positive motivational messages, you might just have a better day.
I mean, I'm kind of guilty with that. I love horror movies.
Oh, and God, you're one of those.
And I'm all the crime stuff and all that. I don't know. I think it's because I've always loved some Law and Order, SVU, and all that.
I'm like, Disney movie or Law and Order. I'm gonna pick Disney.
I'm gonna be a detective. That was what I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to
and
be
then we
Olivia
became a
Benson.
detective, and
Olivia
all of
Benson
our
was gonna be. She was my role model. I'm gonna be her. And then, I mean, obviously, as you get older, it's like that's some scary.
So scary and
Yes.
so sad. It's so sad. It's very like most of the time the thing you're trying to like figure out is always because someone passed on or something, and that's
Or something brutally happened to somebody.
right.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of heavy
But
stuff.
that's reality of life, and
Yeah.
it is obviously it's not stuff you want to focus on and like live there in those times, but
right.
it is reality.
Yeah, for sure. I just am not.
You choose not to feel
I just,
that,
yeah, like I would rather talk to the people about the tragedy that they went through and how they overcame it versus giving me detailed descriptions of how it happened to them. Right. You know?
Well, even for some people too, if they, not everybody, but talking about those moments can keep you kind of stuck in that if you haven't healed from it.
Right.
But at the same time, obviously, seeing a therapist is very important also. So I don't want to take away from that.
Right, because you got to talk. I think sometimes there was a singer, and honestly, and a lot of artists do this. This is probably like I can't wait to get him on the show. And a lot of people who, when they go through trauma, they turn it into art. They write about it. They sing about it. They do talk about it, and they do it in a different way. But once you release it and you let it out of you, I think that can be really healing.
Of course, definitely.
So, talking about healing, talking about releasing, let's go to commercial break, and when we come back, we'll bring in Teb, who wrote Live in Peace, and he'll tell you all about it. Stay tuned.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Hey guys, today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. Look. Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud that was.
I know, I
sleep
heard,
through that.
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Bacon.
STEM is the discipline of hard numbers, precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to get messy or just mess it up. Dare to program something internet breaking, record breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to try. Dare to fail. Dare to keep daring. Dare to learn the difference between organic, sedimentary, and non-foliated metamorphic rock. Get outside, find those rocks. Dare to be homeroom famous, a high school fable. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. And for the love of STEM, dare bigger. Dare to code, dare to invent, dare to explore, dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text to emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Hello. Oh,
There you
here
go.
we go. Woo! Okay, now we're all back in here. Matt's producing the show tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, Doreen, let's just bring in Teb. Everyone, this is Teb. He's the author. If you're just tuning in, he is the author of Live in Peace. So, Teb, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Good. Honey, just move in a little bit closer
Just
to
to
the
the mic.
table. Yep. And then, yep. Perfect. And then move the mic a little bit up and over. Yep. Yep. No, to the right. Yep, perfect. Okay, great. All right, so talk to us. Tell the viewers a little bit about the book. I definitely read it. He has it also on Spotify, right?
And Pandora. I listened to it on Pandora.
It's on all streaming platforms. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, like all streaming platforms. So
awesome. And so Live in Peace is dedicated to Duncan.
Yes. So Live in Peace, the young man on the cover of the book, his name is Duncan Ketter. And I grew up with him in church. And he was murdered in East Boston in 2017. So I know I was getting like kind of heavy right away, but just explain the story. So when that happened, it hit me. He majorly impacted my life. And I just wanted to dedicate something to him and also just to the world and just show, kind of keep that inspiration going. To me, the best way to show that somebody inspired you is to inspire others. So it's almost like keeping the train going. You know what I mean? This person inspired me. Now I'm going to inspire this person. Now I'm going to inspire that person. It just keeps going. So he inspired me with his life. So now I want to inspire the world with my life and with his as well. So Live in Peace is a double entendre, which means has two meanings. So Live in Peace, it's a play on the words of rest in peace. I don't believe in death, so I say live in peace instead of rest in peace. And that's parting words onto him since he passed away. But live in peace is also just words for the living, live your life in peace. I wrote the book around the time when I really was finding peace in my life, and I just wanted to share that with the world, and not world peace, but just peace within oneself is what the world needs, and once you realize that everything, everyone, especially all living things, we are all connected. Finding peace within yourself is finding peace in the world, Amen. And
I agree.
100%. That was beautifully spoken. Yes. Beautifully.
Thank you. But everything is one love. That's how I live my life. Like I said, I started in church with Duncan. I don't subscribe to religion anymore. I have respect for all religions. If you really look at every single religion, they're very similar to each other.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all like saying bits and pieces of truth, but with their own interpretations. But if you just take the truth of each one and put it together, it's like, well, they keep saying the same message, live by that message, just live in love, live in peace.
As I say, and to me, I think God
is love.
Yeah,
that's how I live.
Yeah.
That's how I live my life. But any questions?
Yeah, I have so many. So first off, it was so cool to just hear you hear that, because on Spotify, I was on the treadmill yesterday, and he basically, what you just said, you say in your
one of the poems.
Yeah, one of the poems when you're describing Duncan and what you believe in and stuff. So it was pretty cool to see him say it out loud in person. Because I met you through the Spotify.
Yeah. Same person.
Same person. Wicked cool. So Duncan, why don't you tell them a little bit more about Duncan? Because there was just one part where he saved somebody.
That stood.
Oh.
I cried.
I was on the treadmill crying.
I cried.
Mask on and everything. I'm like, oh my God.
So that story is why he inspired me. So Duncan and I, we were about 4 to 5 years apart. So I was like a sophomore, junior in college. Let's just say, junior in college. And he was, I don't even know. Well, it's in my book. He was about 16, I believe.
When you met him?
No, when that
incident
story
happened.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was 16 at the time.
So he saved someone's life at 16.
So
oh my gosh, when you said that,
Doreen, he's telling the story for the fans who don't know. She just jumped right to the ending. What?
No, I was gonna say, like, when you said that though, like, oh my gosh, that was.
So for those of you watching and don't know, this show is based out of Massachusetts. So in Massachusetts, the trains are called the MBTA. The MBTA, a man fell down on the train tracks, and a couple of people jumped down on the tracks to help him up. Duncan jumped down on the tracks, but he was actually on the opposite side of the train. So say the train was coming inbound tracks that he fell on, Duncan was on the outbound tracks. So he jumped like 2 tracks to come over and help this dude up. And they had it all on camera. It's on NECN News. And they recorded him, and they said, you know, weren't you afraid to die, this and that, this and that? He said, oh, you know, if I died, at least he said, I didn't care if I died. At least I did something to help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just watching them get hit by a train. And I was a sophomore in college, and I saw that, and I knew how young he was. And I was like, it just blew me away, because it's like, this kid's 16. He's not afraid to die. Like, his mentality, I always knew he was like years ahead of his age, but that really like blew me away. And I was just so proud of him. All of us at church were proud of him. His whole family was proud of him. Even when he passed, they talked about that at his funeral. And yeah, he's pretty, I wouldn't say pretty known. Well, they know him in East Boston because of that incident, but
adults wouldn't even do that.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
So it's like,
That's some superhero stuff that he just pulled.
Yeah, so it was like, this kid is like ahead of his time, man. I just, you know, and
that's such a selfless thing to do, and people are so selfish now. And I mean, I know that was obviously a few years ago, but just to think of somebody being that selfless and not even caring about their life and putting someone else's, I know people do that. It's not it happens all the time all over the world, but that's such a big deal, especially like you're saying, for a 16-year-old.
A 16-year-old young man.
Yeah, and, like he was a little baby.
But that so the point that he was at 16, I feel at my age 27 now, that's the point that I feel I'm at.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, I don't want to die anytime soon, but it's just like, you know, death to me is not, I'm now look at death as another form of life. I don't believe, like, how can you die? Like, there's, I say in my book actually, or on the album, the law of conservation of energy, that's a proven law, I'm not making this up. Law of conservation of energy states, energy is neither created nor destroyed, it is only transferred from one form to another. So if that's the case, how can you die? You know?
Right. But I have heard that too.
That's just my perspective, you know.
I agree with that. I have kind of the same outlook, so I love that you said that and you say that in the book, because it's a really good way to look at it when you've lost somebody too, that they're always here with you. Yeah. Like living on in your heart.
Their energy for sure. And I definitely feel like Duncan's energy, like, so to prove that, I feel his energy really has like done this. And it didn't occur to me until like 2 years later after I wrote the book. But after he passed, there was a time when I started taking my poetry more seriously. I started writing more, and I wanted to post just stuff on Instagram, stuff like that. I started Instagram, started promoting myself, my poetry, and National Poetry Month came. So in the United States of America, National Poetry Month is the month of April. So when that came, I wanted to really push my work more. So I went out, took some pictures, wrote a poem each week, and posted it on Instagram. And that's what the book is compiled of. But when I did that, it was in April. Duncan's birthday is in April.
So his energy was all over it.
Yeah. And then a year after I released the book in 2019. I released that on his birthday, which is April 16th. When I wanted to make it into an album, I released it on. So if you go on all your streaming platforms, they will find my book. Just go on streaming platforms, TEB, T-E-B, and then type Live in Peace. Once my book comes up, scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see the date that it was posted. It was posted on April 16th, so that's Duncan's birthday. And I wanted to make sure that I did that because just like a thank you, you know?
Right. And what I love about the whole story is it shows that no matter what age you are, you can inspire somebody. Yeah. And a lot of people, especially if you're a millennial, the older generation love to make us feel like we were too young to do that.
Yeah.
You know, you're a kid, you don't know anything. You don't know anything. And it's like, that's not true. That's actually not true at all.
So, or that you have to go to school to do that. And
yeah,
you have to have this kind of education, and this is something you did, and it's your creativity, and that's what you took
to do. Your grief and you transformed it into something amazing.
Into a book.
Would you say that it healed you by doing that?
Oh, definitely.
That's
That's
awesome.
why I want to make sure it heals other people, because I didn't want it to be selfish, you know, because like I said, it was a church we grew up in. There's a lot of, I called it my church family, because even though I don't, you know, subscribe to religion anymore, they're definitely still my family, you know.
Right.
And, you know, all of us are hurt from that, and I just want this to heal them as well, heal like just everybody going through grief, you know, and just going through the struggles of life, because again, it's a double entendre. It means live your life in peace. So a lot of the other poems too, they talk about just enlightenment.
I know you talk about time. I
Time.
like the one
I
on
was
time.
gonna say the
I like the
time
time.
poem.
101 Time was awesome.
So
Awesome.
I have a poem called Time, and time is fascinating to me. So because it's just, I don't even know how to explain it.
My son always says time doesn't exist.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
like
love that.
time exists in the space you're in.
Right.
So
Well,
you know,
time itself is like a man-made
it's
concept.
relative,
so,
yeah, for sure.
Right.
Because I mean, look at the clocks behind us. Like, how's it at these different times? Different
I
times?
know they unfortunately can't
I
see
know,
the
they
clocks.
can't.
They
Yeah.
can't. But above us, there's 5 different clocks, and it's from Tokyo, Los Angeles, Boston, London, and Moscow. And they're all different. They're all
different
different.
times.
No, a human in Los Angeles ain't it is not even 5:30. Okay, a person in Tokyo, I think it's. I don't even what it's
10:25
in the morning though.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a morning. It's a morning over there. You know what I mean? It's so weird when you.
But
when
yeah,
you-
it's funny because you're saying that about the time, because there's a meditation I do. I can't catch the girl on the meditation daily because she's in California. So when she's doing it at 9 o'clock in the morning, it's already 12 o'clock for me. So I got to do hers from the day before, because I can't do. I'm not doing my meditation at 12 in the afternoon. I'm doing mine in the morning.
Right.
So
did you get into any self-healing like meditation or what, or do you work out?
What did I do? I mean,
You smoke weed?
it was really just, it was a bunch of things, but it was really just life, really. Like, I just, like, some people like to ask me if I read a lot. Like, shame to say that I don't. I mean, I'm a writer
Yeah.
who doesn't read a lot, but I mean, I read life.
See,
if
because
that makes sense.
I used to cope with like drinking and smoking weed. Like that was my like go-to. And then I kind of just changed it up with meditating, working out
Well, weed
more.
can be very
Yeah, Doreen smokes.
healing.
no, I don't. I used to a lot.
Oh, you don't smoke
I don't smoke anymore. But
My God, what was this?
it's been a while.
It could be- it
I
could be
still,
very
I still drink my wine on occasion, my
Yeah.
red wine. But no, I don't smoke anymore. But smoking for me was a very healing thing.
It was good until I started getting anxiety attacks.
Yeah,
Then it just like
that's what
no.
started happening to me. I
It's-
think weed's just not the same anymore.
It's just very self-reflective.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's really when I started like changing. I started reflecting on myself, reflecting on life more, and just seeing things for what they were instead of what I thought they were or what I was told they were. And then just, you know, life like speaks back to you, you know, if you just pay attention. And, you know, but you can't pay attention if, you know, you're thinking of this or you're feeling this or you got to do this. You're just pulled all over the place. You really got to like draw yourself, like zero yourself out, you know what I'm saying? And that's when you're really going to hear things, feel things, see
And
things.
it's so hard to do that because we like distractions. We like
Right.
to watch movies. We like to listen to music.
Well, why do we like, we're choosing to like that.
Yeah.
Right.
But even I like how you said what you're told, like what instead of what you're told to think and stuff, because you back to like kind of inner peace. You are your own guide on the inside. You can believe and think of what you want to think, and you can decide to, you know, if this is a belief I want to have a belief in, yes, you can. Somebody else might not want to, but that's them, because we all have different chemical brains and like makeup in our brains, and you are not me, and I'm not you, and so I always say like everybody can just believe whatever they want to believe or think.
Well,
what
a
they wanna
belief is
think.
just a thought you keep thinking.
Yes.
Just a thought you just keep thinking. So if you want to keep thinking that thought, then that's the belief system you then have.
So I'm glad you said it, because that goes back to what you guys were talking about before the commercial, which is like negative belief and stuff like that. And that's also what really brought me to this path where this is a lot of negativity. I'm not going to act like I had a like rough childhood or anything. I definitely had my traumas, you know, but I've grown up with multiple people. I mean, I don't like to measure trauma. You know, everybody goes through a trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Your trauma might be too much for me, but mine might be too much for you. You know what I'm saying? So
there's no measurement on
exactly. So
who's
it's like
worse or what's
everybody goes through the same BS.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah, we can't swear, but now
You got it.
We picked you up.
But yeah, so I really started changing my life too. Instead of thinking of me, think of we. And I even started playing like a game with myself where I was like, all right, every single time I get mad or any negative situation I come into, I'm gonna switch me with we, and I'm gonna see if it changes things. And every single time I did it, it made things better.
Ooh.
Because now you start seeing the bigger picture where it's like, all right, if I'm with somebody that I care about or something and somebody gets me mad or something, they're getting me mad. Switch it to we. I'm with my friends, people I care about. If I get mad and retaliate against this person, this could put people I care about in danger. Why would I do that?
Right.
You know, so it's like, it's just switching your way of thinking and way of living, really. And then all of this stuff just started like falling into place. And again, with Duncan's passing, he was murdered at 19. And I was 24, 25. And it was just like, you know, I have a pretty big family. I have a lot of people who've passed away in my life. But in the past 3 years, I've had about 5 people pass away under the age of 30. Or 30 and under. You know, so that's when it really started hitting me. Like, I mean, it should hit you all the time. You know, nothing's forever, but it really doesn't hit you until you feel that, where it's like, sheesh, that person was just here, now they're gone. And it's like, but that's not anything to be afraid of. It's just, why not appreciate life more? It makes me appreciate life more.
And that is what people need to start focusing on versus the fear, right? Because you can only focus on one thing at a time. You could live in fear or you can live in faith, right? There's the 2 F choices.
Live in love.
I live in love. I definitely live in love, which is just love. Like you always choose love. And it's tough because some people are very conditioned to choose fear, and so they hold back their love from loved ones, right? Like a lot of couples do this. A lot of couples will be madly in love with each other, but they don't let the person know just in case that person might want to leave them one day because they're afraid that person might leave them. And what you're really doing is just not allowing yourself to be madly in love with someone and experience that moment of ecstasy that you two could truly have together because you're both living in fear instead of living in that moment, like Teb just said, in love.
I think it goes all to what you're saying too, is just gratitude a lot, because if you know, when you're having the grief, because I've lost many people over the past few years. I've lost a lot of friends. My brother just passed away 3 years ago too, and I've lost very close friends, and everything I always tried, because I sunk in that grief. Like you can kind of live in grief, but what it always comes back to is just having the appreciation that you even knew them, that they were even a part of your life, and everything that you learned from them, everything that you experienced with them. It's like
honoring them.
Yeah. And I think it's so awesome that you wrote this book, because I have this saying that because sometimes people think, don't talk about them, or like stop bringing them up. But the more you bring them up, you actually keep them alive.
Yeah, very much so.
So not talking about them is as if they didn't even exist.
Exactly. So I always tell people, like, you know who like Shakespeare is, you know who like Ben Frank and all this. Those people are dead, you know, but you talk about them all the time. So how are they technically dead if you keep talking about them?
That's so funny. This morning, I have no idea why. I finished working out, and I was like, I feel like listening to Martin Luther King's speech. And so I just played it. It was so good, but like that's what I thought. And my brain was, wow, like he's been dead for so long, but
you keep the memory alive.
Yeah, but now we have video, so it's like, oh my gosh, like there they are, right there and there.
That's
you know,
really why I made this too, because you know Duncan, he was way too real of a person to just like forget. Like this is him on my shirt right now.
Aww.
And if you look at the book, I'll get into detail about it. So that jacket in the book is what I'm wearing. Okay, on the back of the book.
I'll show you mine too, because I took off the sticker.
I wish you could show the back of your jacket.
Yeah, no, stand up and you definitely can. No, ready? Watch. Look at the back of his jacket. It is so dope. Oh, okay. He's taking it off. I thought he was going to do a little spin move. And now everyone out there watching, that's hand painted. Hand painted.
It's awesome.
Yeah, tell me the artist and sorry, not
So the artist, his name is Joris Jones, African American artist, very talented dude. He is a painter, illustrator, designer. He could do a lot.
Yeah,
So-
no, I love that.
I saw, not to jump away from the book, but I did see you're doing other stuff with Black Lives Matter movement.
Just more showing support.
Got it.
I just it's not really, because to me it's obviously it's personal and black, but it's more than just a movement. Like, this is my everyday life. Like, this is some sort of trend to hop on or hop off. Like, this is my life. When you hop off, I could still, run into a bad cop, which I have. Things happen. So this is more than a movement. This is growth.
Yeah.
That the world needs, society needs, because
Definitely, because I never, unfortunately, I haven't came across a friend who was vulnerable enough to open up to me about a story with a bad cop.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard many from people too that there is, but I know there's the good and there's the bad. Everybody's kind of has had experience. People have their experiences with really good ones, but many people have. Yeah, I've heard many bad ones.
There's no excuse for it, and I'm never going to tolerate it at all. Gets me actually super angry to even mention how to treat another human being, but that's a whole conversation for another day.
It's without getting too deep into it, because I did talk about this in the book too.
Yeah.
Duncan was killed by another black man. And that's not to bring up black on black crime, because crime is crime.
Right.
To even classify it with race is just continuing to perpetuate racism.
Right.
The young man that killed Duncan was from a community in Massachusetts that had a lack of resources, because how does a young man, the kid who killed Duncan was 16.
Okay.
Duncan was 19. The kid killed him was younger than him.
Did they know each other?
No. Where's a 16-year-old kid get the resources and the time to go rob someone or just go kill someone?
And just have that much animosity.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like, where's that coming from? What is not in his neighborhood? What did he grow up around? What lack of resources did he have? And that's where the racism stems from. Because if he had more constructive stuff and he was doing constructive things, Duncan could have been here today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
well, they say it takes a village to raise a child,
It does.
and in today's society, there's no villages anymore. There's two parents that, let's be honest, got probably married because they had we're pregnant, let's do this now. And now the kids can't even go to school anymore because that's shut down. Now it's all online. It's
definitely
not
different times.
Yeah.
It is.
And there's a lot of, I am a single parent, and there's a lot more single parents than there were years ago.
Oh yeah.
So
because sex is easy to have.
Yeah.
You're horny, you have sex, and then a baby comes. No big deal.
It's not easy.
No, raising a child, it's like that's what our generation, I hope, spreads to the youth, is that sex is great. Having a kid is a whole nother story, because creating psychopath murderers out here, which is what's happening, is not what's cool. It's not what society needs.
I'm just curious about the other kids' parents. Like, what in that situation, did they have any forgiveness, or did they talk to Duncan's parents at all? Do you know?
I'm not going to get too deep into that. I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
But just speaking from, the black experience, it's not always, because a lot of people are like, oh, take care of kids, da, 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 da. Well, they are taking care of the kids. They're a single parent working 3 jobs.
Right.
They can't even be home.
Right.
Of course the kid's going to have, you know what I'm saying? Of course he's going to have time to go do this, that, and the third. You can't even spend time with him because you have to break your back for a capitalistic society.
Yeah, no, that's so sad. It's like, that's the sad truth, and that's not how I think the world. I just had this talk with my son today, and I always say humans have done it all wrong. If we could just go back in time and just redo the way things were, because even how the fact that you just said somebody has to work 3 jobs to take care and live their life, to have the means to be able to provide, that we could be living off the land and having a whole different type of thing, life, and instead of it being this rat race of a world that we live in.
Yeah.
I think times are changing.
Yeah.
I know, I definitely do.
I think we are the
definitely do.
people who have voices who are starting to make the change happen. I'm not gonna lie to you, the older generations, you did what you did, let us fix it. Like, you know,
Well,
and we have to.
There
We
is
have to.
evolution of. I like to believe that we are evolving. I know this is some heavy times and things are really crazy right now, but I actually like to think that
It's growth.
yeah,
I
it's
think
growth, and you got to
growing
go
pains
through.
for sure.
Yes.
There
I
was a
just gonna say,
meme.
it's like the
There was a meme that
Purge
said,
of it all.
plot twist, 2020 was actually your best year. You got through all the hardest challenges. You grew so much as a person. You are someone that you never thought you would ever be possible. So the joke's on you. It was your best year, not your worst.
right, and but sometimes you got to get all the bad out
Yeah.
to
It
like.
really was 2020 vision because it's like the world.
I know. I always said that. I was like, oh my God, the year is 2020. And it was like, God, whatever you believe in the universe, was like, listen, y'all want to see what you did to this world? Here's 2020. And it's like, woo-hoo-hoo. Let's hope 2021
and I
is
think
a little
that
bit
there's
better.
going to be there's going to be people that choose to stay kind of in that, lower mindset of that, but then you can kind of, like I said, you can evolve.
Lower vibrations.
Yeah, and look at it as growth.
Either you're going to choose to float higher with us and vibe on the good level of positive joy, happiness, fulfillment, ecstasy, or you're going to chill in grief and despair and victimization.
Yep.
And I wouldn't chill there if I were you. But we're coming down to a close. I can't believe that the show is already coming down, but tell everyone where they can find your book.
Sorry.
go ahead.
So you can find the ebook on Amazon.com. Physical book you'll find on searart.com, SIIR art.com. Go to our market and you can find my book there. That's where you get physical books from me. And then again, it's an album and it's on streaming platforms everywhere. And you can listen to that on your way to work. If you're sitting down drinking wine, if you're lighting up a joint, whatever you want to do.
Show his Instagram, Matt.
So _Teb speaks is my Instagram.
I was say when you do the, like, I obviously listen to it on Pandora, so when you talk, what is that poetry called when you talk?
Speak easy.
No, it's like there's a type of poetry.
Spoken word?
Yeah. So that's what I like listening to it, because you get like a real personal feeling from hearing your voice, and then you're like the emotion and like how you're talking and what you're saying, and I really liked it a lot.
Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We honestly, you found us, and then I saw your stuff, and it was too good not to share. So, especially during a time like now where COVID is attacking pretty much everybody's family, unfortunately. But
my message to the world for sure: live your life in peace. Find peace within your life, and once you do, you'll definitely want to share that with the world. And if you don't, still share it with the world, because you never know who you could inspire. And again, the best way to inspire someone is to inspire someone else, and just keep that energy going. So one love. Appreciate y'all.
I love that. Thank you so much. We're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, me and Doreen will wrap up the show.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Hey guys, today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. Look. Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud that was.
I know,
Stick to that.
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Bacon.
STEM is the discipline of hard numbers, precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to get messy or just mess it up. Dare to program something internet breaking, record breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to try. Dare to fail. Dare to keep daring. Dare to learn the difference between organic, sedimentary, and non-foliated metamorphic rock. Get outside. Find those rocks. Dare to be homeroom famous, a high school fable. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. And for the love of STEM, dare bigger. Dare to code, dare to invent, dare to explore, dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Beautiful Broken. We just had Teb on our show, who is the author of Live in Peace. It's a heavy book. It's inspired by one of his dearest friend who got murdered in East Boston when he was 16 years old. He was a bright soul, and he just even though he had a young life, he inspired people, and I think that's what matters. Is that maybe it doesn't matter how long we live, but it's how we live our life, right? And, you know, I think the way he turned grief into something super inspiring and super motivating is what maybe we can all, you know, learn from. And I think it's beautiful. I think he makes him a super strong man, super strong.
No, I think you might have said 19.
Oh, yeah. No, he was...
The incident was 16.
Oh, my bad. Right. Okay,
19,
he was 19. Yeah.
But no, I think it's an awesome way. I think putting any kind of, you know, whatever you're going through, putting it out into creativity in any way is the best way to kind of not get over it, but to kind of inspire people, like he said, through your pain.
And it's so funny because, like, even Beautiful Broken was inspired by a breakup that I went through. Mm-hmm. And I mean, in a weird way, a breakup is kind of a grief because you're grieving that person from your life.
Definitely. It is a type of grief because you're grieving any kind of relationship, you're grieving kind of any emotions or feelings that you had. It's definitely a form of grief for sure.
Yeah, so it's just, I think the people out there that are hurting the most is because they're just sitting there in that stuck energy of, wow, they're gone, I miss them, what am I going to do now? And if you can just transition that into love somehow and then be moved by them. Obviously, COVID-19 is taking a lot of family members from people. There's I think it's up to 1.2 million, if not more. And a lot of people are going to have to, after this year, going to have to deal with that. There's a lot of people who are going to relate to how you feel, though, and that's important.
There's definitely going to be a rise, I think, in depression and things like that,
and it only goes with this season anyways. Wintertime's coming.
I know that's why when you were like the season in the beginning, I'm like, I wish I could love winter as much as everybody else does.
You can, because it is a choice.
I'm all about the sun, the summer, the heat.
But if you want, I'm telling you right now, stop watching those scary movies and turn on some Christmas movies, Doreen. You're going to totally change your world around. I swear to goodness. I'm telling you right now, I watched 3 Christmas movies the other day, and I'm not just this bubbly, positive I work so hard, people. If you knew how hard I actually work to give you guys this light and this love every single day. Instead of choosing fear, I choose love.
But I don't watch the shows and get in the fear. It's more just...
You don't lay in your bed afterwards thinking that there's something in the corner watching you?
I know. Maybe when I was younger, I definitely did. But now it's more just... I like.
You don't go to the grocery store.
I get an exciting feeling from it.
What?
Because, I look at people as... I'm not... I know they're not real people in the movies. It's actors and it's their job.
That's so fun. Oh my God, his head got caught off. Did you see that?
You don't like going to scary houses?
No.
Haunted houses during Halloween?
I don't like feeling fearful. I hate it. I actually loathe
I get it.
It's especially in 2020, watch the damn news, see what the world is looking like, and you get your little fear factor. Yeah, I don't need to go to no haunted house where some guy that I could actually punch in the face comes out with a chainsaw. And it's how do you know?
It's not real.
How do you know? How do you know? What if he slipped and there goes my left arm? How do we know this, people? You were just trusting that those haunted house people can't attack you. How do you know that Billy the murderer, who's been wanting to do it for years, is hiding in the bush?
See, I don't think about that stuff.
See, I'm just saying. We don't go there because my brain just keeps there, and I just would rather think about the bush being a bush.
I totally get it. I think sometimes I just like to get a little scared sometimes.
I guess that's you. Everyone, hit us up. Follow us on our Instagram. It's at beautifulbroken.tv. If you ever want to be on the show, just DM us. Let us know your story. This is our this is our Instagram. Then this is our website. There's so much good stuff going on our website. All our live shows are active on that. So if you missed our live show tonight, or if you miss it next week or whatever, they all go on our website. So you'll always be able to check them out. Then we also have jewelry on our website. Beautiful jewelry. So check that out as well. And then if you ever want to work with us, we're also looking for some people to work with us. We're looking for camera people. We're looking for editors. We're looking for people to run our social media. So if you know anyone out there who might be awesome, let me know. I'm definitely looking forward to adding more people to the family. And next week we have a clothing designer who I went to high school with. He's 26 years old. His name's Marcus Middleton, and he will be joining us as a guest next week. So if you like clothes, if you want to start your own company, I suggest this is something you watch, because he'll give you a lot of insight on that. I'm Brittany Mahan for Doreen Silva. We are going out, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Have a good night, honey.